Good morning, everyone. It is currently Saturday, July 10th, 2021 at 6:45 a.m. I am driving home from Seymour, Indiana to Jacksonville, Florida. I hit the road about an hour and 15 minutes ago, maybe about hour and 5 minutes ago. But it is a long drive, especially with all the charging stations and everything. So I am going to, I guess, record my journey with this drive home. So see you later. See you then.
My feet were made to march like thunder, my lips to praise in awe.
Alright, so 1 hour later, it is now 7:44 Eastern Time. I am in Central Time now, so it is 6:44 a.m. So it's almost as if it's almost as if I'm like time traveling back to the past. I almost said Back to the Future. But so apparently I ignored autopilot, or so they say. I ignored autopilot. Not entirely too sure what or why that happened, because it never beeped at me. It never told me that I needed to put my hand on the steering wheel. I've been looking at the road, and all of a sudden it just said, aggressively beeped at me and said, "Take over immediately. Autopilot has been disabled for the rest of this drive." And then it gave me a small reason at the bottom saying that I ignored autopilot whenever it told me to put my hand on the wheel, which was not the case. So I guess for the next 20 minutes until I get to the Bowling Green, Kentucky Supercharger, I will be driving by myself. So I will see you at the Bowling Green Supercharger. Just arrived to the Bowling Green Supercharger, and it's looking pretty rainy outside, so I think I'm just gonna stay in the car for this charge. But yeah, it's also pretty early, so nothing really is open. So now that we're all plugged up, we are just chilling, waiting for this 20 minutes to go by, and then we are back on the road. Outside of it being a little dirty, I'd say she's looking good for, being in the middle of nowhere for the last 8 days. But one cool thing you can do with Teslas while you're charging is, don't mind my hand, it's just eczema. My hand's not falling off. But one cool thing you can do is fold the back seats down. I'm going to have to go over on the other side for that one. So you can fold the back seats down and turn your trunk into pretty much a bed. So put the pillow here, and then I'll meet you at the trunk. Open the bad boy up. Fix the blankets a little bit. It's a little dirty back here, but like I said earlier, I was in the middle of absolutely nowhere where there's nothing but rocks, dirt, hills, everything. So just sit here, chill. Hopefully it rains, actually, so I can look at it through the glass roof. And just like that, I have my bed made. As you can see, I have a few blankets down, so it's not the hard material that I'm laying on. So it's a little softer, but it's still not, the greatest feeling. So yep, let me get in and we can just look up through the glass ceiling. All right, now I'm inside. I closed the trunk from my app, and now I can just look at my dirty roof from the inside of my car. It doesn't look as bad as it does on camera. The camera makes it look horrible. So it's really not that bad. The clouds are pretty rough, I guess. Yeah, the camera does no justice. It's focusing on the dirt and the bug up there. It's not focusing on the clouds, which I guess rightfully so, because that's what a camera is supposed to do. But yeah, I guess we just catch some Z's since I woke up at 5:15 this morning. So, joy. So actually, instead of laying down, I need to get my... Oh, yes, I know. The USB is out. I need to get my USB drive out to plug it into my computer so I can edit this video that I am making. So I will edit as I go along. So yeah, I guess this will keep me busy for now. One cool thing about Teslas is that you can actually have a driver profile. You probably already know this if you're a Tesla owner, but I have Brandon, which is obviously my name, easy entry, which I guess is a preset thing that Tesla had. And then now I have computer on lap. So I'm able to, work on whatever I need to work on while I'm in the car. And then whenever I'm ready to go, which I actually am ready to go, I can, it's enough to go back on my trip, go back to my preset or my driver profile, and then I am ready to go. So let's unplug and then get on the road. Before we unplug, I actually want to show you how much it actually costed to charge at this location. People always ask me how much it costs, and if it's it's obviously cheaper than gas. It's a little more now because I'm sitting here and it's climbing, as you can see. But if I were to plug in, or if I were to take it out as soon as it said enough charge to continue trip, it would probably be below $10. But I've kind of just been sitting here editing my video, so didn't really pay attention to that, so it's costing me a little bit, but who cares, whatever. That just means we'll have less charging time at our next supercharger. So let's unplug. Said earlier that autopilot was disabled for the rest of the drive and whatnot before Bowling Green, and what they mean by the rest of the drive is just until the car is in park again. So once the car is in park and I put it back in drive, autopilot is back up and I am on autopilot again. So I will say one thing though, drive safe. I was leaving the Bowling Green supercharger at a red light, and I had the green light to turn left out of the wherever it was, and some truck with a trailer or something attached to the back blew through that red light. I mean, I saw him coming from a mile away, so thankfully I stopped, but like, jeez, drive safe, guys. I don't really know what else to say. I mean, it's just like, people are stupid. People are absolute morons, and then they look at you like you're in the wrong. Like, this dude, the light was red for him for at least 3, 4, maybe 5 seconds, so he had plenty of time to stop. It's not like he had a heavy load and he just couldn't stop, so he had to run it. No, he had plenty of time to stop. So I guess it's just whatever now. Nothing happened, thankfully, and we are on our way. So yep, I guess unless something happens between now and Nashville, no, not even Nashville, Manchester, Tennessee. Unless something happens between now and then, I will see you in Manchester, Tennessee. Alrighty, we are in Manchester, Tennessee right now. I've actually been here for a while. I've been working on editing, used the restroom, ate some breakfast. It is currently 9:52 a.m. I believe that is Central Time. Yes, that is Central Time. So we have 5 minutes left, and let me flip over the camera to show you guys how much this charge has cost me so far. Alrighty, so as you can see, I have about 5 minutes left. Whenever I got to this supercharger, I had about 65-ish miles left, and now I'm at 248 miles, and it is charging me $5.28. So compared to the Bowling Green one, it is fairly cheaper. I am not 100% sure if the Bowling Green charger was a 250 kilowatt or if it was a 150 kilowatt, but I do believe this one is a 150 kilowatt, or at least on the Tesla website it says it is. So But yeah, of course, I have 5 minutes left, and as those 5 minutes go by, the charge will be a little bit more. So, I guess we are actually. I guess we're actually good to go. Next supercharger is in Atlanta, Georgia. Let's go. So traffic has been a pain since Chattanooga, and I am currently just north of Atlanta. So just that stretch of I-75 from Chattanooga to Atlanta has been nothing but stop and go, stop and go, stop and go, even since before Chattanooga, but it wasn't really that bad in Chattanooga, or before Chattanooga, Tennessee. So I guess we just let Autopilot do its thing, and it's been great. Autopilot has been fantastic this trip so far. The only times I've really needed to take over is when there's a hard break, because I have a set distance between me and the car in front of me, and when it gets close to that distance, the car likes to slam on the brakes, whereas where I would, brake a little bit slower, but obviously not hit the car in front of me. That, and it just gives the car behind me a little more warning to, hey, stop, instead of Autopilot just slamming on the brakes, because that's how rear ends happen. So those are really the only times that I took over, and I know there's ways I can change that in the settings and stuff to where the follow distance isn't as far, because I have it pretty far on Autopilot. So I can change that, and Autopilot would then be pretty stinking close to perfect. So I guess we will just see you guys we will see you guys in Atlanta. Just got to the charger in, I guess it's technically Marietta, but close enough to Atlanta. So let's plug in. So this charger is a 250 kilowatt hour charger. And as you can see, I got here with close to mid 60s. So it's, using every bit of that 250 kilowatt hours. And yeah, 35 minutes, I can get me some food or take me a little nap in the back or whatever. So there's a Subway about 200 feet away, so I can go over there. Got myself some Subway. I wanted a meatball marinara, but they said they were out of meatballs, or they didn't do meatballs today. So I ended up getting a steak and cheese with some Chipotle Southwest sauce or whatever. And the dude was like, hey, since you wanted the meatball marinara, it's cheaper. I can charge you for the meatball marinara instead of the steak and cheese. So I was like, okay, perfect. I appreciate it. So he rung me up for the cheaper item, and I got the more expensive item. So that's a fat bet. So got about 20 minutes left until we get back on the road, and then our next supercharger is in Tifton, Georgia. So that's... How long is that from here? Or how far is that from here? Looks like it's about 3 hours, a little less than 3 hours. So we're good. No. Yeah, about 3 hours. So see you then. Or well, see you whenever I unplug from here. There we go. So we are all done in Atlanta, or technically Marietta. It's close enough to Atlanta. We are done in Marietta, and the total cost was $7.80. So let's unplug before it keeps racking up the bill. All right, little trip update. I am in Tifton, Georgia, officially. I am going to try one of these chargers where I pull into the charging station and not back in. Last time I did this, the supercharger wasn't working. It was in Indianapolis. So we'll see if this one does. So yeah, come check it out with me. go. Alrighty, we are back on the road. We just got done. We got out of Tifton, Georgia, and we are on our quote-unquote home stretch. That was the last stop before I get home, and I guess, like always, we will. I'll see you guys whenever I get to my next location, my destination. Alright, so here is the exit that I need to take to go to Jacksonville. This is all autopilot. None of this is me. None of this is me. Okay, let's see what it does here. Okay. See, this is all autopilot. My foot is not on the accelerator nor the brakes. My hands are holding the phone. It is chilling. That is awesome. I've done this like 10 million times. I've driven the entire way on autopilot pretty much, but I'm still just amazed at how awesome autopilot is. And all I had to do was just confirm that lane change, and then it whoa, okay, wow. I don't think it was supposed to do that, but okay. Alrighty, so I made it home. I am calculating everything as to how much it costs to supercharge at the chargers. So it was about 852 miles, give or take, according to a better route planner. And on the Tesla website, or at least on my Tesla account, I can see the breakdown of all the charges. So like in Atlanta, I charged for 14 minutes at 13 cents per minute. And then 24 minutes at 26 cents per minute in Atlanta. And then it did that all through Manchester, Tennessee, Bowling Green, Kentucky, and then Tifton, Georgia. Now, when it comes to the total cost of all the supercharging on my way back down from Indiana to Florida, it cost me about $33.23. If I were to drive a regular car and fill up 4 times like I did today, that would be $200 at least, because my previous car had a 20-gallon tank, and if I had to fill that up 4 times, then that would be $200, assuming each fill up is $50. So with the fluctuating prices, it could be higher, it could be lower, but about $200 is the gas estimate. So $33 for charging. Hey, that is a win. I would definitely say that is a win. So if you're on the edge, on the fence, I should say, you don't know if you should get a Tesla or if you should stick with your gasoline vehicle or get a new gasoline vehicle. If you are a person who is, once you get going, you can't stop, you don't stop, you have to keep going, I would say gas is better. But if you don't care about stopping, every time I stopped and charged, I did something, whether it was editing a video or getting something to eat or using the restroom or something. And the first 2 chargers, I was there for 20 minutes, 25 minutes at most. So it was just enough for me to edit the video, use the restroom, and eat food if necessary. Now, Atlanta and Tifton were my 2 longer ones, because Atlanta to Tifton is a longer distance, and then Tifton to Jacksonville, Florida is a longer distance. So those were the 2 longest charges, and actually the one in Tifton, I did sleep for a little bit in the back, in the trunk. But Atlanta, I actually waited in line at Subway for quite a bit because there was only one person working and 2 people were in front of me. So you're busy. It's a busy 20, 30, 45 minutes, however long you're at the charger. You have plenty to do around where you are. So if you're, like I said earlier, if you're just looking to, once you go, you're going for good and you can't stop, then maybe gas is better for you. But if you don't care about stopping, or if you just want to refresh, that's what it really is. It was just a refresher. You know, I don't like long trips, but it took me 19 hours to get up to Indiana, and it took me 16 hours to get back. Of course, my two destinations, or my start point, or I guess my destination in Indiana whenever I was going up was further north than it was whenever I started to come back here to Jacksonville, which is why it was 3 hours shorter. But yeah, definitely fun. I mean, I absolutely loved this road trip with the Tesla. It definitely is much better than any other car that I've done a road trip in. Never got fatigued, never got sore. I mean, you don't really get sore, but like you get like that, your like lower back or your butt starts to hurt because you're just sitting in the same position all day. I don't get that at all. I think that maybe like the lumbar support on the Tesla seats. I'm not entirely too sure, but regardless, the seats are super comfortable. Yeah, I think this pretty much wraps up the whole video. I made it safely. So if you have any questions, please definitely comment them down below. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, anything you want to say, or recommendations, I will gladly take recommendations because I know my videos aren't the best. And I'm looking for feedback from you guys for me to make these videos better. So until next time, peace.